So, this little guy is my Reeves turtle, Herman, or Herman, with an English pronunciation. He is 6 years old today. Today is his birthday, or more correctly, hatching day. So in honor of that special day, I thought I'd make a video regarding the sexing, that is gender determining, the species of freshwater turtle. And Herman will be my sample to show you how you can tell the sex of this particular species, Chinemys reevesii, or Reeves turtle, or even more descriptively, the three-keeled Chinese pond turtle, named after these three longitudinal keels that run along the shell, which are also more pronounced in young specimens. Okay, now to determine whether you have a male or a female in your possession, first and foremost, the most obvious thing is the size. A lot of turtles, like a lot of reptiles, have significant sexual dimorphism, that is, significant size differences between the sexes. And this is true of the Chinemys species of freshwater turtle. Basically, the females grow to a significantly larger size than the males. So that a male normal size would be up to 5 inches. These little guys are 4 point something. My little guys. They can get bigger, they can be smaller, but the really big ones are always female. I've heard crazy stories about females who have gotten as big as 30 centimeters. The size of a turtle is measured from here to here, the length of the shell. 30 centimeters, maybe 12 inches, that is extreme, and you'd be, I don't know, very lucky or very unfortunate to have a female get that big. Most likely they would be much smaller, but 6, 7 inches, 8 inches, that's not uncommon. And if you have one of that size, I'd say anything over 6 inches, you can probably be pretty sure that it's a female that you have. Obviously, that characteristic is only good for grown specimens, because when they're babies, they're all the same size. The males just stop growing much sooner than the females do. So that's something you can use to gender determine the adult specimens, of which this is one. He's fully grown, 6 years old. He's not going to get any bigger. Another thing you can use to determine gender is the color. The males of the species are grayish black to completely black, depending on age, whereas the females are not always, but often brown, a kind of reddish brown often. Warm, lovely color. That's not to say that that's always the case, that all females are brown, but if your specimen is brown, you can be pretty sure that it is a female. Whereas when they're very dark colored, dark gray, or even black, they'll be males. Melanism in freshwater turtles, melanism being the darkening of the pigmentation in the skin and shell, melanism in freshwater turtles is a typical feature of the male of the species. They get darker as they get older. If you look at this photo, this is a picture of Herman when he was about 3 years old. And as you can see, he has grown significantly darker in that time. All of this light brown, it's all gone and it's all dark now. Just some few bits of it left. They don't show up that well here, but a little bit is left. But he was very light. And this color is not the female brown. The female brown is much darker, a reddish brown. If you look at my other little guy, whose birthday is entirely unknown, Henrik, hey, show off, you see that he is quite dark. His skin is black, and his shell is also dark gray, black. In water, when he's wet, he's dry now, but when he's all wet, he looks almost black. So he is obviously a male just by the color. You would be very likely to see a female with this coloring. When the animals reach adulthood, there is one obvious thing you can do to tell the age. Come on, you're going to go back in here. I can't keep track of both of you. One obvious way to tell, not the age, sorry, but the sex of the turtle. You do that by looking at the plastron and the tail. Turtles have only one cloacal opening. They don't have, like mammals, particular openings for urine, feces, and their genitals. They have everything in one, the cloaca. So that's on the underside of the tail, and in males, the tail is significantly thicker and longer than in females. See this thick part here of the tail? That's where they keep the penis. So obviously they need space here, which the females don't need. In males, you will generally also get to see the penis. It will suddenly pop out at the strangest times, but you can't really count on that. You may have had a male for a year and never seen its penis because you didn't happen to be looking just then. So here is a much safer way to check for male or female. See this thick, long tail? Turn him over. You also see the cloacal opening. Let's see if he's willing to lie here just a little bit. He's not, but honey, come on. See it right there. Hard to point out, but this here, that is the cloacal opening. And it is always well outside the end of the shell, the plastron, because of course they need to be able to get their penis underneath and inside the female. So it can't very well project from here. It has to project from the center of the tail, outside the base of the shell. And you can also tell by looking at the plastron, the underside of the shell, namely, oh, I know this is awful. It's awful. Two legs keeps turning on your back, and I know you don't like that, but just one more time. Come on, honey, one more time. There. See the plastron right above the tail here forms a V shape. That is a shape that is typically seen only in males. If this was a female, you'd see a much more sloping curve here. You would see a U shape instead of this sharp V shape that you saw in him. That is a clear distinction. What you have is a little male instead of the bigger female. And the reason why you should know what sex your turtle is because partly the females get bigger, they need more space, and also the females need to have a place to lay their eggs. Even if you don't have a male, your female will, in all likelihood, produce eggs, unfertilized eggs. Also, freshwater turtles have an incredible ability to keep sperm alive and well and functional for a very long time. So that's, let's say you got your turtle from someone who used to keep her with males, and 3 years later she suddenly lays eggs. Those eggs may well be fertilized even though she has not seen a male for 3 years. And also, the laying of eggs is quite important because if she has no place to lay the eggs, that is, hey little guy, you're not gonna stay in there, are you? If they have no place to lay their eggs, that is quite dangerous. And in fact may cause serious illness and even death in your female turtle. So if you have a female and not males, like these little guys, let's see, you can see he also has the V there and the cloacal opening, the center of the tail, outside the plastron. If you have a female, you need absolutely to provide her with some sandy soil where she can lay her eggs. Otherwise, you'll be risking her life, in fact, in a very painful way. So if you have a Chinemys species turtle, you should be able to easily tell the sex of your turtle and provide for it accordingly. And also be sure to keep an eye on them because they are very active little guys, very curious, very active, and very agile. Oh no you don't. Happy birthday, Herman.